Welcome to Rick Rack Ruby. I'm Laura Cluvo. The bulletin board behind me is filling up with my Flea Market fabric Christmas ornaments, but there's one that's missing. It's the charm square angel. And even though I've made it before for you, I couldn't resist making up the charm square angel with the Flea Market Fresh fabrics. She's fun and easy, so let's get started. To make our angel, we'll start with the Flea Market Fresh Charm Pack. These are 5-inch squares of this fabric collection. Let's open it up and see what's inside. I'm looking for something purple. Ooh, there's something purple. And I need 3 squares for each ornament. Usually there are 42 squares, and so I can make 14 angels. But I'm just going to make one today. Let's just flip through these so you can see the variety. Oh, this is a perfect one. Oh, so is this, and so is this. Maybe I'll do these 3. Boom, boom, boom. I think that's going to work. But there are certainly lots of other options. Here's, this one would be cute too. I'll probably make up this whole pack. The angel's dress will be created with 3 5-inch squares. This will be in the middle, and this will be in the side, and then wrap around to the back. So the first thing that I need to do is to stitch these together. A 1/4 inch seam here, and a 1/4 inch seam here, and then I'm going to open it up and press those seams flat. Now, one of the reasons that I wanted to feature the kind of purple fabrics in this collection is because I recently purchased this sort of orchid colored vintage lace, and I thought that would be fun to use. And I also have this sort of aqua color, which is also going to work in beautifully with this collection. And finally, I have this, which I haven't even opened. Let's open it. And I think this will be beautiful for the lace collar. I purchased all of these laces from my favorite group on Facebook, which I hope I'll remember to put a little slide in right here. Of course, the charm squares are finished with a little pinked edge, so I don't have to worry about any fraying. I'm not even going to hem it. I'm just going to set this down and do a little baby zigzag along here to secure it to the hem of the dress. I've applied the lace with a zigzag, and you can see that little zigzag on the back. I matched the thread to the lace, and now I'm going to just seam up the sides, which this will go around and become the back of the dress. There's my side seam, and I'm going to turn that right side out, and I'm going to set it aside. I'm using a 25mm head bead. I've already put the face on, and the instructions for the Rick Rack Ruby face can be found in my Focus on Faces video. It's really fun and easy. And I have a roll of 6-inch tulle and some 1/16 inch ribbon. I'm going to use 2 lengths of this tulle, and I'm folding them over. Each one is about 15 inches. Maybe, yeah, about 15 or 18 inches. So I'm folding them over, and I'm going to secure the center of these tulle strips. I'm going to tie off into a nice tight square knot right here. And then, oh, these ribbons are too long. And then I'm going to thread it through her neck, through her head, from the bottom to the top. So I'm going to add a drop of glue right here at the back, just under the head, like this. And then I'll press the head down over that glue so the head is secured onto the tulle, which becomes her petticoat. And then I'm going to tie the ends of this ribbon into an overhand knot, but this is, I do like a long hanging loop, but this is too long. So I'll cut off these excess streamers. And this is probably about 6 inches right here. I like that. Now I have a doubled strand of heavy duty craft thread. I have a knot in the end, and I'm going to gather up the top edge of the dress. First, I'm going to secure the knot right here in the seam allowance, and then I'm just going to do a running stitch pretty close to the edge all the way around. Okay, that looks good. So I will just kind of like insert the angel's body into the dress like that, and then wrap tightly and secure the thread in the back. And that seam should be right in the back center. And now I'm going to trim off this extra petticoat. Don't cut it too short because you don't want to accidentally cut into your dress or your lace. Now for her collar, I think this will be just perfect. This looks like it's about 3/4 of an inch wide. Now because this lace is so fine, I'm going to cut it a little bit long. I think I'm going to use about 1 yard of this. This is about 30 inches. So once again, I'm going to use my heavy duty crafting thread and gather up the top straight edge. I'll fold back the end and then secure this. This thread is really thick compared to the fineness of this lace, but of course you can use any lace. Then I'm just going to gather it up with a running stitch all the way to the end. So there's her little ruffled lace collar, which I'm going to place around her neck and secure in the back. I'm getting the collar above the fabric. I'm going to try not to let too much of that fabric show. I want the lace to sort of conceal that top edge. Now the back, it's not as important because of course we have hair and wings and all kinds of things going on back here. And I'm going to distribute the fullness. I like to have a lot of the fullness on the sides. The front can be flat because there'll be a little decoration right there, but I like the sides to really ruffle up. Now I'm going to do a little decoration at her collar, and first I want a bow, and I have a couple of options. I have purple baker's twine, and I have gold baker's twine, and I have more of this ribbon. And to be honest, I know you're going to think this is absolutely horrible and tacky, but I'm going to use this gold baker's twine. I think just adding a little touch of metallic makes it seem a little bit more like a holiday decoration. So I'm just tying a bow. There's no secret to it really, except maybe try to get the streamers even. And I always tie an overhand knot in the streamers whenever I'm using this baker's twine because it does fray. And I think I'm going to place it under the lace. Now I have a couple of options. I have these purple flowers, which, they look kind of perfect. But of course it's hard to find the exact thing. So I just want you to know that These are some kind of pearl stamina. I have some buttons. That kind of goes with, that would be really cute. And I had these leaves. So there's a lot of options, but I just don't think we'll be able to beat this. I think I'll pull out 3 of these little violets, or maybe they're, yeah, I think they're violets. Let's call them violets. Woof. 1, 2, 3. So I've removed these little flowers from their stems, and I'm going to glue them individually. They're very small, but oh, that's really cute. There we go. Now let's do her hair. You get a lot of a lot of questions about where do I get the yarn, what kind of yarn do I use, and honestly, you can use any yarn. I mean, as long as it's not too thick. And this is a thinner yarn, and so obviously a thinner yarn you need more of it, and a thicker yarn you need less. So for this thinner yarn, I'm going to wrap 2, oh wait, do I have 3? Oh, I'm using 3, okay. 3 4x6 index cards, about 40 times. Now this space from here to here is about 3 inches. Now I'm going to go back to my machine, which I have threaded with off-white thread, with ivory thread, and I'm going to stitch across these loops to secure them down and back. I'll be right back. Here's how it looks. I have a little rogue yarn right here. I'm going to tear out the cards and remove the card from the inside of the yarn loops. Now I'll apply some glue across the top of her head like a headband. And I'll place the center of the wig into that glue. See, the seam of the wig is going directly into that line of hot glue. Then I always kind of check to be sure I'm not too far forward or too far back. And then I'll continue to add glue along here to the back center on both sides. Here's one side. And here's the other. That looks good. Great. She's like a Gibson girl. And then I'm going to draw those loops up and tie them off with the same needle I've been using, and I'm going to tie it off into a top knot. And I'm placing the knot just off center. So it's above one eye. Now let's add her halo. I have 20 gauge gold wire, and I'm going to shape it into a halo. I'll cut off about, this is about 5 inches. I think that'll work. And I'm just going to twist the ends together. Like that, like a lollipop, and then bend that up. It's like Easter egg dyeing. I'm going to put some glue right here on the ends of the wires and press that into the center of her top knot. And now I'm going to add a little decoration right here. I have the same options. That's pretty. This is just a button. I think I'm going to use this. It's a satin bow with a little embellishment, and I really like anytime I can buy pre-made bows. They're just always perfect. And to struggle to tie them as perfectly and accurately, it would be hard for me. That looks good. Now finally, the wings. Here are some options for wings. I'm going to cut them from scrapbooking paper. This is from I think it's a Tim Holtz wallpaper collection. That would be nice. This is Old World Stack. I think this one was from Joann Fabrics. This would be nice. I like that, actually. This is from the same Old World Stack. But this is the one that I've ultimately decided I'm going to use. So I'm going to cut out a scallop circle with my die cutter. But if you don't have a die cutter, you can just trace a CD. And that'll be the perfect size. I'll be right back. Here's my wing piece. I'm going to fold this in half, like this. And now I'm going to zigzag around the edge on my sewing machine. Here's how it looks. I think you can see the stitching. And now I'm just going to hot glue that to the back of her head for her wing. I put the glue up high, right underneath the fold. And I'm gluing it to her head, right here, into her hair. How does she look? Pretty good. And she's done. Thank you for watching my tutorial. If you're enjoying my videos, please like, share, and subscribe.